Hello, this is Scott Randall, and I'm the Chief Operations Officer for Oklahoma City Public Schools. And I just want to thank you for this exciting opportunity to talk about the steps that Oklahoma City Public Schools is taking to improve the indoor air quality in our schools. With COVID, everybody knows that it's about the layers of safety that you can put in place. The district has been very proactive in that. We promote throughout the district wearing a face mask. We talk about maintaining social distancing and washing your hands. So, incorporating those three layers of safety into those activities, but it also applies to indoor air quality. And so with indoor air quality, again, looking to improve the air quality in our schools, we've always had the two layers of safety in place. We've had the air exchange rate where we're exchanging outside air for inside air. We also have had filtration. Everybody has filters at their homes. It's no different in the school district. We have filters that are in place to catch particles as they travel through the airstream. So we've had those two layers, but we're adding a third layer of safety in response to the COVID virus. And so it's an exciting opportunity. It's an ionization system. The specific name is needlepoint bipolar ionization, but we'll just refer to it as ionization as we go throughout this discussion. And again, it's an opportunity to add a third layer of safety in response to COVID. And so what the ionization system does is we install this in our air handling systems is it uses an electric current to produce negative and positive ions. And these negative positive ions are flooded throughout the building, throughout the air handling system. And again, we're doing this in response to COVID. And the challenge with COVID is you have this microscopic particle that typically filters are not going to catch. And so that's the need for this ionization system. And so the positive and negative ions attach themselves to the COVID particle. They're attracted to it because of the electrical patterns that exist. And so as these positive and negative ions attach themselves to the COVID particle, it begins to snowball and become a larger particle. So as it passes through the airstream of the school building and passes into our air handling system, the filters are then able to capture it because the particle has become much larger now that it's a COVID particle with positive and negative ions attached to it. So then it becomes of a size that the filter will catch it. The other thing that the positive and negative ions do is they attach themselves to the COVID particle. They begin to rob the COVID particle of the energy and the material that needs to just survive. And so as it attaches itself to us, it begins to rob that from the COVID particle, and it eventually will kill the COVID particle in and of itself without passing through a filter. So we make it large that it gets caught in a filter, but we also are over here actively using the same process to kill the COVID particle. And this is airborne. The ions are airborne in the school building, and they'll be in every school, every classroom, every office, every support center in the district. Again, this is a system that has been tested by third-party labs, so there are no safety issues associated with this. This is still providing healthy air to our students and our staff, so that it doesn't have any type of effect in that regards. This has been tested also by third-party labs, so that it's verified that the kill rate that it has actually as far as COVID, which is so critical. This is the only system we were able to identify that has a third-party documented laboratory that's documented the effectiveness of ionization in terms of killing COVID. And so we are excited to put this system in place. It's going to give us the highest level of air quality that we can in our school buildings. It will continue to serve the district well beyond COVID, as it is also effective against the flu and the flu bacteria and other viruses. So it does have a longer lasting impact than just addressing COVID, but we are excited about this layer of safety as we begin to look at bringing our students and staff back into our buildings. And we're in a position, again, this is a response to COVID, but we're in a position to be able to do this because of the CARES funding that's been made available by the federal government. And so the funding for this is coming through CARES, through the federal funding. And again, we're excited that the response that it's going to have to COVID and making our buildings improve the overall air quality and the safety of our buildings. But again, this will have an impact going well beyond COVID and into the future for our students. Yeah, the timeline, great question as far as the timeline for this project. I said it's underway already. The project, we have actually already installed and have fully functioning ionization systems in 27 schools. We've done 25 elementary schools and 2 middle schools. We plan to have all of our elementary schools and pre-K centers completed by the end of December. And then by mid-January, we will have, our plan is to have the secondary schools, middle schools, and high schools completed by mid-January. I'm not aware in the state of Oklahoma. I've heard of districts, but I haven't been able to verify that in Oklahoma. Still working on doing that, but I have been able to verify that in Texas. I know there are several districts that have actually implemented this same ionization system, this same equipment, and also some of our partners, as far as the Council of Great City Schools, have heard of them either implementing it or they're having discussions about implementing it. Total cost of the project is going to be approximately $2.5 million. We're still, like I said, the project's underway. That's what the budget is for the project at this point in time, and we believe we're going to be, on budget or under budget as far as the project is concerned. So, we'll begin to operate our air handling systems, moving the air throughout the building. We've already started that just to improve the air exchange rate that I talked about earlier. But when this system has been turned on and activated, it takes approximately 30 minutes for it to have killed 99.4% of the COVID particles that are circulating through our air system. And again, it'll begin to work on surfaces also in classrooms, and that, there's particles that aren't being circulated that may have landed on a surface. And so these ions, as we flood the classrooms, then it's a very proactive system in that regards, as it still will attack COVID particles that maybe aren't circulating through the air stream, but are in the classroom. And so it'll still attach itself to that particle that's landed on a desktop surface and begin to kill that particle. And so it takes approximately 30 minutes for that to take place. Of course, we're continuing to introduce new air, and the filtration is still in place. Actually, a great question about, does it have any type of odor or smell to it? It's quite the opposite. As long as it's operating, it's going to be very seamless. You're not going to know it's in place, again, because it's just part of our air handling system. The actual benefit is that one of the things that it can help us improve on is just odors that may be caused by other things in the facility. And so it actually is been tested and proven to reduce odors in a building. So again, just kind of a side effect, not something we were seeking to do in our response to COVID, but more of a side effect of having this will actually improve even the odor or the smell of the air in a building. So